Let's do a quick refresh check so you guys know this is real. Okay, I didn't even realize 80,000 orders. Seems sketch, but it's real. Let's hop into my Triple Well dashboard. As you can see, we did over 4 million in revenue. This is with returns. So I did do over 4 million and a 2.17 ROAS, nearly 700K in profit. Let's show you some of my ad spend on different platforms. So this is using triple attribution. If you don't know anything about Triple Well, triple attribution essentially gives equal credit to whichever ads they saw. So if they saw Facebook and then Snapchat and then TikTok, it'll count for all of them. So you can see a lot of my spend was on Facebook, a decent amount on Snapchat. I'll make a video on Snapchat ads in the future. It's pretty simple. You just need the right product and offer. Google ads. Essentially, people searching my brand name and searching these specific products, and then pretty low on TikTok. And this 5.52, a lot of that is actually from organic. Sometimes it records it as TikTok, sometimes it records it as organic. But as you can see, almost 1.9 million in spend. That's not accurate, but you saw here. So here's November and December of last year. Now I've had this store for over 2 years, but as you can see, I was doing absolutely horrible. Even Black Friday, I got like $5,000 in sales. So I was not doing good. And what was happening is I was trying to force a product that just simply was not working anymore. It was very outdated. And I also had an agency at the time and they were not doing very well. So then right around here, I fired the agency and I started testing products in my niche again. And as you can see, I started to scale up, had a pretty big day here. And then I started to scale up. And then as you can see, moving into the new year, first 2 months of the new year are almost 700K in sales. Pretty steady, fairly low right here, but consistent. Started scaling up again. And then March and April is when it really took off. As you can see, we did over 1.3 million, now counting returns and stuff. Pretty steady, around 20K a day for 2 months straight. So that was very good. May and June started to go down a little bit. Summer months, offer wasn't working, had to find new creatives. That's something I'll go over in this video, is how important creatives are to your offer. And then July was one of the worst months I've ever had. 234K, but unprofitably. And that's because I just didn't have any creatives at the time. Yeah, and I know a lot of people who have sold this product would just give up and move on. But I didn't. I knew that it was a winning product, a winning offer, very broad. So in August, I stuck to it. I was still spending around the same amount, but I ended up getting just over 440 grand in sales, probably over 450 if you count refunds. And I was doing very consistent, 15 to 20K days. And then September, another pretty good month, over 500 grand in sales and very consistent. So what I want to talk to you about in this video is a couple of things. One, a lot of people on YouTube preach testing products, scaling it up 1, 2, 3 months, and then moving on to the next product. I have a completely different approach. I think once you find a winner, you try and brand it. And what I mean by brand is you can still ship from China, but just get custom packaging and get custom creatives made. And then it really comes down to creatives optimizing your funnel because you know the product's a winner. And even if, and trust me, they will, a bunch of drop shippers will hop on this when they see your success. I've checked Shop Hunter and I know there's dozens and dozens of people tracking my store at any given time, always. I'm sure there's been YouTube videos made about it as well. But what you really want to do is really dial in your logistics, your backend, email, SMS, and creatives. Creatives are absolutely king because multiple times I thought maybe this product was dying and then I found a new winning creative and that absolutely just skyrocketed sales again. So this essentially, all of this revenue, essentially from December last year, the first 3 quarters of this year, I would say about 85% of that is from one product. And then I have some upsells and cross sells as well, obviously to increase average order value. But this is all from one product. And this is just coming from testing new creatives. So it's doing fine here. New creatives popped up. Boom, boom, boom. It's doing all right. The creatives started to die. Summer months, creatives just weren't working. Boom, boom, boom. And I think in this Q4, I should do at least 2 or 3 million. That is my goal. And then the beautiful thing about building a branded dropshipping store is not only can you cash flow this whole time, for 1-2 years and make money while you're doing it, same as drop shipping, but you can also then create a sellable asset. So this store is valued well over 7 figures now. I'm talking to brokers because I just want to move on to something else. But yeah, it's valued at in between $1.5 and $2 million. So that's pretty good if you are cashing out this entire time and then you get an exit at the end. Whereas traditional drop shipping, you run up, and trust me, I've done this dozens of times. I've been drop shipping since 2018 and I've scaled products up for 2-3 months and then it dies. And then you're just at the very beginning again. And frankly, it's depressing and is mentally crippling. It's such a high and such low lows when you're just turning and burning products. I prefer to do it this way, build a more sustainable, real business that you can actually exit and make money. So I'm going to hop into my Facebook ad account, quickly go through it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a real in-depth case study on this store and tell you how you guys can do it yourselves as well. But right now I'll hop into the Facebook ad account. In the future, I'll hop into Snapchat and Google and stuff as well. But for now, I'll hop into the Facebook. All right. So as you can see here, date is November 1st to November 30th. I was only spending about $5,000 total for that month. I just wasn't getting really anything to buy. But keep in mind, this is Black Friday month and I only spent $5,000 on ads. So this is when I had that agency and just nothing was working for the particular product that I chose. It was just outdated and just overall not that great. And then as you can see here in December, let's go from the 1st to 15th, 1st to maybe the 11th, something like that. I just started testing new product, this campaign right here, and this campaign right here, I started testing a new product and it was starting to show some promise. So I scaled on my budget, and as you can see, the rest of the month I spent $42,000. And this isn't accurate, but it says I don't know why it's not showing my average ROAS. But as you can see on these campaigns, these were well over 2 ROAS. I tested multiple new products, found one that was really starting to show some good promise, started to scale that, and as you can see in January, I then went up to $104,000. And ad spend. ROAS, again, this is not even close to accurate. So as you can see here inside my triple wall, I had a 2.44 ROAS across all my platforms. I spent $11,000 on Google, $16,000 on Snapchat. And as I said, I will make a video on that in the future. Facebook, $104,000 as I showed. So my overall ROAS was 2.44 and $70,000 profit. And then I'll show you a couple more months. I'll just show you February to April. We scaled up a lot. So as you can see, $500,000 spent in these 3 months, February 1st to April 30th. So as you can see inside my triple well, about 1.7 million in those 3 months. So those 3 months were pretty solid. About $340,000 of profit, 2.3 ROAS, and $512,000 on Facebook. As you can see, 166 on Snapchat. Snapchat was doing really well. And then about $50,000 at Google and just, a little bit on TikTok. So the point I want you to take from this video is if you have a winning product, do your best to actually reinvest some of the profits. I'm not saying all of it. It's not like I reinvested all of these profits. I've probably reinvested out of all the money I've made, 50 to 100,000 out of 700,000. So I'd say that's a pretty good return on my money. And now I have a sellable asset. What I suggest you guys doing rather than turn and burn just BS products, what you should do is brand it, just get some custom packaging made. It doesn't cost that much. If you have a good agent, they can package it for you and they can help you source the packaging. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, just something to show that you're an actual brand. And then use one of the more faster shipping lines from China, Unexpress, 4PX, there's a couple other ones as well. That you'll get your package in 6 to 10 days, 6 to 12 days, give or take. Sometimes I get them in like 7 days. So there's some pretty decent shipping from China. And a lot of customers are used to that. If you order from big brands, sometimes it takes 2 weeks to get your product. You can't always compare to Amazon because you will never compete with Amazon as shipping. Even if you ship from a 3PL in the US, you will not compete with Amazon. So don't worry about that. Focus on 3 things: product, creative, and then eventually start optimizing your funnel. And by funnel, I mean landing page, SMS, email marketing, bundles, upsells, cross sells, things like that. You don't need to do all that in the beginning. You just need to start seeing some profit. But as soon as you start and you find something that's really starting to work, try and diversify, because other dropshippers will just rip your creatives. But if you create your own creatives, you get your own images, you do this, you do that, and these dropshippers try to rip it, and they will, but you can just DMCA them. I know the founder of Bleem, and that's what he did. That's why they're essentially the only people on the market selling it, because people will just rip their creatives and rip their product images. But that brand has done $50 million in 2 years. So, I mean, what I've done is pennies compared to that. But that's just an example of a dropshipping product. They branded it. They got some custom content, some custom creatives, and they just scaled heavily in Facebook ads. So in a future video, if you guys want, I will make a video on my Facebook ads scaling strategy and creative strategy. It's honestly fairly simple, the scaling strategy. It's something I just picked up from a couple of other YouTubers that tried a few of their different strategies. They all work for specific ad accounts, but I will go through what works for my particular ad account, and I'll give the person credit. I'm not trying to rip someone's strategy. There's no like super special strategy. Honestly, it is creative product offer. That is 99% of it. And then just about any Facebook strategy will work if you have those in order, especially product and creative. That is literally 99% of it. So some takeaways I want to give you guys from this video is, like I said before, if you find a winning product, rather than just running it up on stolen content, which, you know, you got to do what you got to do to get your first few dollars in your bank account. But once you have that, reinvest some of it, get some custom content, get some custom images. You can learn to edit videos yourself. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. UGC videos work super well right now. Images can work well. There's a lot of things that can work really well with ads. And then you just have to test, and optimize your funnel. A lot of people try to overcomplicate it. And yeah, it's a business, but drop shipping and turning and burning products, in my opinion, is more stressful. And it's just a lot harder mentally, and it's just as hard business-wise. So that's why I prefer focusing on 1, maybe 2 stores, scaling them up, branding them, and then exiting them. And by the way, I'll make a video in the future. I did exit a dropshipping business for 6 figures, not 7 figures, in 2022. So I do have experience actually exiting a dropshipping branded store. And another side note is I started both these stores on TikTok organic and have made multiple 6 figures just on organic. So that's another guru video I can drop for you guys if you want. So anyways, yeah, leave a comment if you like this. Let me know what you want to see in the future. I'll try and start uploading once a week, once every couple of weeks. Just trying to help some of you guys out. Try not to overcomplicate things too much. All right, guys, later.